Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Since 1923, she has stood strong, an icon in the Bronx. The main character of the greatest story ever written in sports, a monument to America's game. The first chapter was written by a larger-than-life player. He christened her on her opening day with a home run. From that moment on, it was known as his house. As the years went on, the faces changed, but the moments produced here came to epitomize the game.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Welcome the President of the United States.
There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run.
With the final chapter of this epic story about to be authored, the eyes of the sports world are fixed squarely upon her to say farewell for one last time.
Well, the Yankee captain, the all-time hits leader at Yankee Stadium, makes his way into the ballpark for the final time for a game. Mariano Rivera, so many great moments here at 161st Street and River Avenue. And they will take this walk for the final time as they head to their field of dreams. Oh yes, there are memories, many, many memories, different for different people, and we'll try to cover them all. As tonight, the Yes Network presents a special Yankees pregame show, Farewell to the Stadium. And hi, everybody, and welcome to an edition of Farewell to the Stadium from the Yes Network. I'm Michael Kay. Boy, you could feel the emotion here in this ballpark. I'm standing out here in Monument Park, and there's a certain reverence, but there's so many emotions throughout this ballpark right now. Are people sad? Are they celebratory? Is it somewhat melancholy? It could be right in the middle of everything. And over the next hour or so, what we're going to do is we're going to try to cover all of those emotions. We'll talk to present Yankees. We'll talk to past Yankees. We'll talk to Yankees that have made this ballpark very special. And you know the story. This place opened up in April of 1923, and Babe Ruth hit the first home run. Who's going to hit the last home run? We have no idea, but we know that the last ball game is tonight. It's Yankee Stadium, the Yankees against the Orioles. Now, as I mentioned, I'm standing here in Monument Park, and about 30 feet away is the escalator tower here at Yankee Stadium in left field. That's the same tower that I came up in as a 15-year-old on April 15th of 1976. That's a memory that stays in my brain forever, simply for this reason. It's the first time that I saw this new ballpark. That's right, and one thing that I was waiting for, I wanted to see the new replay board. I couldn't believe that you could see replays while you're sitting in the stadium. It felt like WPIX right here on 161st Street and River Avenue. But the one big thing that I remember about that day, it didn't work. All it said was, welcome to the new Yankee Stadium. And here we are all those years later, and this ballpark is closing, and next year, right across the street, right behind me, the new Yankee Stadium will open. We have the entire Yes crew with us. We'll be covering this like a glove. We'll have all the ceremonies as well. What I want to do right now is throw it down to my colleagues and my friends, Bob Lorenz and Ken Singleton on the field. Guys?
All right, Michael, thank you. Here's the first bit of good news. They worked the bugs out of that scoreboard. So that's the good news, Kenny. Now, Michael mentioned a wide range of emotions, and we thought melancholy at this point might be one of them. It's not. There's an incredible energy here right now.
It certainly is. It feels like the 7th game of the World Series. When you think about it, Bob, there's been 100 World Series games here over the years, and some of them were 7th games. And I have that same feeling tonight. This is a one-time event for these fans that are here tonight. tonight. Some of them are going to be sad, of course. Some of them know that there's a new ballpark across the street, and I'm sure that one's going to make a lot of people very happy.
But everybody remembers the great memories. Michael just shared one with us as a kid. You've been here not only as a kid, but as a player and a broadcaster. What are some of those memories like?
That has spanned most of my life when you think about it, because I sat in the bleachers when I was 10 years old, saw Roger Maris hit a home run during that great run in 1961 when he broke Babe Ruth's record for homers that year. Also as a player, had some good memories here with the Orioles teams. I remember hitting a ball into the black seats. That was something special. Nobody else had done it, and as the stadium had been refurbished until that point. I also remember, more on a somber note, the night that Bobby Mercer drove in the 5 runs that beat my Orioles 5-4 during the Thurman Munson game in 1979. The stadium had certainly a different atmosphere that night, a different feel to it than it does tonight.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the stadium facts, because so many incredible things have happened here at Yankee Stadium since 1923. The first game played April 18th. Since then, 26 World Championships. What's also amazing is that of all the playoff games played since 1923, 15% of them in Major League Baseball and 21% of all World Series games have been played here. And then, of course, the stadium has also hosted 4 All-Star games, the last coming this year. But, Kenny, you played in one of those as well.
In 1977, I can recall being told a week before that I was going to be in the All-Star game. The Yankees were actually playing in Baltimore, and Billy Martin made it a point to walk across the field after my Orioles had taken batting practice to tell me I had made the All-Star team. And I ran right into the clubhouse, called my dad, and said, "You're going to the All-Star game." My dad said, "How come?" I said, "Because I'm going to be in it, and it's going to be at Yankee Stadium." And that certainly was a big part of my career.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but obviously we have a lot more coming up here on our farewell to the stadium. Coming up next, Kim Jones joins us. She talks to former Yankee great Tino Martinez, and later, more on the history of the ballpark, and that history goes beyond just baseball. We're back after this.
The Yankees pregame special, Farewell to the Stadium, is presented by Ford. Check out the best-selling vehicles in America, only at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
It's the 08 sales event. A huge selection of 08s with unbelievable deals. Like a Ford Edge, now just
farewell to the stadium, and we've talked about some from a player's point of view. Let's get one from a former player's point of view. Let's go to Kim Jones. Kim?
Thank you, Bob. I am here with Tino Martinez. And Tino, what's this day been like so far?
Well, it's been crazy. You know, I've been sitting in my hotel room early on and watching all the highlights on ESPN about the history of the stadium and what's happened here throughout the years. And I started getting excited about getting here. You know, I was supposed to leave the hotel at 4, and I was getting anxious. I wanted to get out here and get in this atmosphere and you know, and get ready for tonight and see what happens.
You know, a lot of current players were here early today, so it's funny you say that. Players aren't always early, but today it seemed like everyone wanted to be.
Yeah, I can imagine the players got here early today, and you know, I wanted to get here early too, and just kind of like soak it all in. You know, see how the fans are reacting here, and it's going to be an exciting night. But yet, I think at the end, it's going to be pretty sad.
Some people said this is like an all-star game atmosphere. Some people have even said World Series. You know, what's it like?
Well, so far with all the media out here and the way the fans are excited right away during batting practice, it's a playoff atmosphere, playoff World Series type atmosphere. But, you know, what a great stadium this has been to all of us and the fans from generation to generation. And it'll be sad to see it go, but it's just been a great part of my life.
Well, it's been such a great stadium for you. Let's start with the 98 Grand Slam. Take us through. Well,
the bases were loaded. It was a tie game in the 7th inning. And, you know, I was basically trying to hit the ball hard up the middle, get a base hit, you know, just keep the rally going and keep the pressure on San Diego. And I got to a 3-2 count and got a good pitch to hit. And I was just trying to hit it hard somewhere. And I hit it out of the park. I knew it was gone. And I couldn't believe what had just happened. I was so excited. I was dizzy. It was crazy. You know, it was a numbing experience and a great experience nonetheless.
And then the 0-1 home run in the World Series.
Well, the 0-1 World Series home run was bigger, I thought, because we were down 2 runs and 2 outs in the 9th inning. And that one, I didn't know if it was going to be gone or not. It was a long line drive to center field, and I hit first base. And when I hit the back wall and I saw that it was gone, same thing. It was a numbing experience. I was excited, you know, just trying to get around bases and get back to home plate and try to win the game. But the way the fans reacted, the noise, the beer flying, the atmosphere was, I mean, something you'll never forget.
So many memories, and before we send it back to Bob, Tino, you already have a keepsake. You got some dirt.
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted. I went in there to see Joe Girardi, and I he had a bunch of these in his office. He says, hey, you got to have some dirt from the stadium from the last game. And I really appreciated that because, Joe and I are tight and had a great career together.
Thank you so much, Tino.
Thank you.
Bob?
All right, Kim, thanks. We can only brag about having it on our dress shoes right now. Now, it's interesting because Tino's name is just one of many Yankee greats etched in Yankees lore. And so many things have happened here in a stadium some think of as a symbol of perfection. In fact, this stadium has seen its share of perfection. And for more on that, let's get back to Michael Kay. Michael?
That's right. This is pretty much perfection personified right here, Bob. I'm here with David Cone. And David, as long as the Yankee name exists, as long as the Yankee brand exists, people are going to remember your perfect game. How often do you get reminded of it each day?
Don Larson said it best. There's not a day that goes by that some form or another you don't think about or doesn't cross your mind. But the best part I think about is Yogi Berra. It was Yogi Berra Day. And to be associated with Yogi, I'm in his museum. He put my picture up in Yogi's museum. That means the most to me of it all.
What about that day do you remember the most? Obviously, we know it was Yogi Berra Day. We know you pointed up when the pop-up went to Brocious. When did you start to realize something was special?
Actually, after the 5th inning. Once I got through a rain delay early in the game and then I got through the next 2 innings quickly, I started thinking about it early on that day and probably a little too early. But I also remember walking out in the 9th inning to warm up and the standing ovation I got, how intense the fans were, how much they wanted it that day, probably more than I did. So it was a hot day and I didn't want to let them down. And it was a remarkable feeling to get a standing ovation walking out to the 9th inning before I even warmed up.
Now, interestingly enough, because you've always been a team guy, that's one of your great moments, but I know that it was a team concept in 1995 that still sticks with you.
Well, it does. It was my first experience in New York playoffs as far as the Yankees side of town goes. And to see the respect that Don Mattingly got before the game, running wind sprints in the outfield and getting an upper deck standing ovation. And the place was full that day early because people were so hungry for a playoff game. It had been 18 years. So to see that respect paid to Don Mattingly really showed me that this is what happens when you perform in New York, when you play for the Yankees, and you do it right. This is how you're rewarded.
Now, I'm wondering, because we were all trying to come up with the emotion that's in this ballpark right now. First of all, with the red, white, and blue bunting, you have a little bit of a postseason feel. But do you think it's sad? Do you think it's celebratory? What are you feeling right now?
Well, I think it's both. It's bittersweet for a lot of people. But, I think this place deserves this proper send-off because it's not just baseball. The Pope was here 3 times, the New York Giants, we talked about it earlier. It just transcends baseball. Musicians, actors, everybody's got their own special take on Yankee Stadium and their own special memory, and it goes down to the families, goes down to the fans, the grandfathers passing it down to their grandkids, and on and on. You hope that continues in the new place.
Now, we heard Tino just said that he took some dirt from the place. Now, David, edit yourself. What do you really want to take from this place tonight?
You know what I want. I saw a couple exit signs. That's all that's left. They ripped everything off the walls. I mean, it's slim pickings right now. But I told you, really, I'll never get my hands on it. But there is an antique scale that Babe Ruth used to weigh himself on back in the trainer's room. There's no way to get a hold of it. But if I had my choice, that would be the thing I would pick.
Now, Gene Monahan said that's going to the new place.
Well, then there's no chance to get it. So you know my plan B.
Let's keep that to ourselves. Anyway, David, go get dressed. We thank you for joining us. Have a great time tonight.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, that's David Cone. Bob, back to you.
All right, Michael, thanks. And from one pitching great to another, Ron Guidry joins us now. And you always love coming back to this ballpark, Ron, but does it have a different feeling knowing this is the last time in this kind of celebration?
Well, that's correct. That's a lot of emotion here. It's the place that I called home for the 14 years that I played here. And, to see it in its last day here, it's been emotional for all of us. It's, what I said earlier, you know what's going to happen across the street with a brand new stadium. And the guys that are playing now, they get to go and continue and make new memories. But for all of us that this was our home, we won't have any more memories. Our memories are all here, and we're going to miss them.
Well, Bob, my memories of facing Ron Guidry are not good ones. In fact, if it wasn't for him, I played 61 career games here at Yankee Stadium. If it wasn't for him, I'd have been a 300 hitter here at Yankee Stadium. In the city where I grew up, my family would have been a lot happier if it wasn't for Ron Guidry. But it was great competition. I want to thank you for the competition, although I don't think I 125 or something like that? Hey, no, I'm not exaggerating. I didn't hit this guy. No,
it wasn't as bad as you.
Well, it felt like it on the other end. Let me put it that way. But, just to have that competition here at Yankee Stadium and your thoughts about this is going to be the last time. And you said you had mixed emotions, but you have a lot of good memories, too.
Well, that's true. At this ballpark, there was always things that happened here that you can always remember, and yeah, there were a lot of big games that I pitched, and you know, one of the things that I know that I can take with me is, you know, I started that 2-strike clapping. You know, so that attributes, you know, to me in a game where, you know, you had a lot of strikeouts. And I didn't know I had a lot of strikeouts. I wasn't counting strikeouts, but, you know, the crowd just got into it. And, you know, it's caught. You know, it's all over now. So every time you listen to a ball game, you see 2 strikes on a hitter and the fans, you know, start cheering. You know that you had a part, and it's wonderful because it started here.
I have a feeling that's going across the street, though, Ron.
Well, I'm sure it's going to continue. I mean, I hope it continues because, you know, you'll have other guys that come in and they'll break the record at some point in time, which will be great because the records are made to be broken, but they won't be able to take that away from me. You know, I started that stuff.
Well, Ron, enjoy the night. It's going to be a great one. You're part of it. And Kenny, I don't think he feels too bad about getting you out.
I don't think so either.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here on our farewell to the stadium. When we come back, the history of the stadium. And as we mentioned, it goes far beyond just baseball. That's coming up right after this.
All right, guys.
As the regular season,
some call the Cathedral of Baseball, Yankee Stadium, as we celebrate a farewell to the stadium here on a Yes Network special presentation. Now, this stadium has been called many things. A ballpark to a few, known simply as the stadium to others, the house that Ruth built, or as I mentioned, the Cathedral of Baseball. But its history extends far beyond just America's pastime. Throughout history, there have been certain man-made structures that have defined the hopes, convictions, and creativity of the people they serve. On April 18th, 1923, one of those spectacular structures opened its doors to the world. No mere ballpark like its contemporaries, this was a stadium. A stadium built to honor the ascension of the Empire State, descended from the Colosseums and arenas of ancient empires. Not only would it become the home of the greatest team in sports history, but it would also host some of the most memorable moments of our time and some of the greatest champions the world has ever known. 3 months after it opened, Yankee Stadium held its first boxing match, and the stadium continued to host numerous historical fights, including the first televised match in 1939. Championship boxing was continually exhibited at the stadium until Muhammad Ali defeated Ken Norton in 1976. But the most famous bout was in 1938, when Americans united behind a black man known as the Brown Bomber, who fought and defeated Germany's Max Schmeling, delivering the Nazi Empire and the theory of racial superiority a severe black eye. Football's greatest games were also played here. In 1928, Knute Rockne led his Fighting Irish to victory over the Army's cadets when he implored his team to win one for the Gipper. In 1958, over 64,000 football fans watched what has been called the greatest game ever played, when the Baltimore Colts, in the NFL's first ever sudden death overtime, defeated the New York Football Giants to win the championship, establishing professional football as a major American sport. Many of football's greatest players came to this address: Gifford, Connerly, Tittle, Rote, Summerall, and Lombardi, to mention just a few. Another type of football called Yankee Stadium home when the New York Cosmos soccer team played here. Leading that team in 1976 was the greatest player of all time, Brazilian national treasure, Pelé. The largest crowds at Yankee Stadium have gathered for a different kind of champion, those who championed their faith. Along with massive assemblies of Jehovah's Witnesses, the Cathedral of Baseball has been blessed with a trinity of papal visits. First in 1965, then again in 1979, and last in 2008. While most events held at Yankee Stadium have thrilled and excited spectators during occurrences of all kinds, including movie and television shoots, concerts, rallies, even a wedding, there have also been somber, melancholy moments when we've had to say goodbye to our heroes, when we've even had to say goodbye to our loved ones, like the victims of the September 11th attacks. But it was here, after the tears had been shed, that Yankee Stadium became the place where the grieving could find hope, the place where New Yorkers could find pride, where Americans could find resolve. Because the heroes here could not be intimidated. They fought until the very end, on this very field. We've seen individuals do the unbelievable. We've watched teams accomplish magnificence. This has been a house of triumph, a venue for inspiration, where thousands have gathered to cheer, hope, believe, and witness. For nearly 85 years, Yankee Stadium has truly been the home of champions. Yankee Stadium endures today with an incredibly rich history, and a man who has cataloged that history is Director of Stadium Tours and historian Tony Moranti joins us now. And I want a personal memory from you, because I know you've been coming to this ballpark for 60 years. Take me back to when you were 6 years old.
Well, when I came out to the stadium on that day, I came out into the upper deck behind home plate, and I saw this beautiful green grass, a blue sky, and the puffy white clouds, everything. The aroma from the hot dogs and beer, and it made one sensory explosion in my mind, which has never left me. I don't remember anything about the game, but I was smitten after that, and I've been coming out here since then and gathering a lot of these memories that you just mentioned.
And isn't it amazing, all the things you've seen since that time? People come to you and say, Tony, I want you to knock it down to one or two great memories. Can you do that?
Yeah, one or two. Well, Chambliss's home run in '76, obviously that was put us back in the postseason play for the first time in 12 years. Games 4 and 5 of the 2001 World Series, Bob, were probably the most significant and poignant memories that I have, because it came right after the tragedy of 9/11. And the important place that baseball plays in the hearts and minds of American people is part of the American trilogy, along with Mom and Apple Pie. And what we contributed to the game, and especially on that day, on those 2 days back to back, you had the dreams of what we had when we were children, getting up in the bottom of the 9th inning, hitting the home run to either tie the game or go ahead with 2 outs. Those are the things that dreams are made of, and we saw them manifest themselves out on the field. Tino Martinez, Derek Jeter, Alfonso Soriano, Scott Brocious, all coming up really big, and this place was rocking, and I never saw it like that. And what it did, the important thing about it was that the tragedy that had befallen us just before that was still in our minds, but this was like a diversion, which took us away from it, and that's part of what baseball is all about.
Do you feel like, unlike any other ballpark, that Yankee Stadium, even for somebody who's never been here, somebody who might live in San Diego, California, that it somehow touches their lives unlike any other ballpark?
They've obviously heard about it. They've heard about the pinstripes and the legends and icons that came through here. Who didn't hear about Babe Ruth that heard about baseball? You really have to question. So the contributions of some of those early guys had set the trend for what happened later on, where people were able to relate to the New York Yankees, and especially Yankee Stadium, and not only for the 26 championships and all those legends, but the other events that occurred here. So as the Yankees were winning World Series, there were people that wanted to participate in events here. The first paper mass in the United States, many concerts, college and professional football, soccer, boxing, circuses, rodeos, many, many events that brought people out here besides the game of baseball, making this become a mecca, so to speak.
Tony, thanks for the time. Incredible tapestry of history here at Yankee Stadium. We're going to continue talking a lot more about that history when we come back. More reaction from players past and present right after this.
It's the 08 sales event. A huge selection of 08s with unbelievable deals. Like 0% financing for 72 months on Ford.
At some point, Mariano Rivera will make an appearance in the game against the Orioles. But we also have a pregame appearance. Here's Mo with Kim Jones. Kim?
Thank you, Bob. Mariano, you predicted yesterday there would be tears today. Is it emotional?
Well, it's going to be emotional. Definitely it's going to be emotional. It's going to be a lot of tears today. From the fans, maybe from the players, but definitely it's going to be a lot of tears today, and this play is going to get wild when they introduce a player they haven't seen for 2 years, I believe. That's Bernie. When they introduce Bernie, I'm going to be outside.
That will be quite a moment.
That will be something, because the fans never say goodbye to Bernie, and now they have the chance to say goodbye.
He didn't want your locker back, did he?
No, he didn't want my locker. No, I won't give it to him anyway.
What is it going to be like? Joe Girardi says he will do everything possible to make sure you pitch the ninth. What's that run in from the bullpen going to be like?
I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna be. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it's we got the lead in the ninth, and I don't know. I can't imagine how I'm gonna feel if I had the opportunity to pitch, and the adrenaline is gonna be rushing through my body. So I don't know. Maybe I won't be able to pitch.
I don't believe that. There are so many memories here, Mariano, before we let you go. Can you believe this is it, though? These memories tonight will be the last ones?
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I keep thinking today, it's finally hit me today. And it's hard. It's hard. And like I said, hopefully we have a great game and a great show for the fans, because New York fans deserve this and more than that.
Well, we'll look forward to Enter Sandman, Mariano. Thank you.
I'll be looking forward to that, too.
Thank you. Michael, let's send it over.
Thanks a lot, Kim. I'm here with the Yankee manager, Joe Girardi. Mariano just told Kim that it's hit him today. He said he was, wondering what it would be like, but it really hit him today. How about you?
It started to hit me yesterday as I was looking around, and once you saw that one go up on the MetLife board, it started to hit me. And then when I came here today, when I woke up this morning, I had the feeling that it was a World Series game. And I knew that there was something really different. And it's hit me in a lot of different ways, but what a great atmosphere. What a wonderful building.
I was going to ask you about that, the atmosphere. Is it sad? Is it happy? What are you feeling right now?
Both. It's sad because obviously it's the last time that we're going to play here. It's happy because of all the great moments I've had an opportunity to spend here and what this has meant to the city of New York, what it's meant to the world of sports. I mean, there's no better building in the world.
Now, is it true that Tino stole some of your dirt?
I gave Tino a little dirt. I got some dirt from home plate, and I said, I got to apologize. To me, there's only one position, and that's a catcher. So I didn't go to first base to get your dirt, but here's some dirt.
Now, what are you going to do at the end of this game, you think?
Well, I'm going to walk over to where Charlie caught the ball, and then I'm going to walk to the mound. And I'll walk the field one last time, and obviously you'll have a chance to walk it. We'll have a chance when we get back next week, but it's a little bit different when there are people here.
Joe, a lot of people that we've asked, and it's one of my top memories ever since growing up here. Game 6, 7th inning, you hitting that triple off Greg Maddux. And, I mean, do you even have a recall of that?
Oh, yes. That game was on this morning, and I was watching it with my two older kids today, Serena and Dante, and saying, there's Daddy, there's Daddy. And even just watching the game, it brings a tear to my eye because, that was the ultimate. That's the ultimate for a baseball player to be involved in a game like that and have a chance to celebrate.
Joe, what does it mean to you that you're the Yankee manager for the last game ever at Yankee Stadium, and you'll be the Yankee manager for the first game at the new Yankee Stadium?
Michael, my life is just been one blessing after another, and this is just another one to have an opportunity to do this. And I just hope I honor this building, I honor the Steinbretters in tonight's game, and have a chance to honor the fans because they've been tremendous. And what a home field advantage to play here all the time. And this atmosphere, it's awesome.
Joe, thanks. Have a good time.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, that's Joe Girardi. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Michael, thanks. I love looking at I want to say the old video. It's not that old of Joe Girardi hustling to third base with that triple. And I want to go back to Mariano Rivera, though. His numbers here are absolutely astounding.
Yeah, 230 saves here at Yankee Stadium, the most for any pitcher in any ballpark. And Bob, also, you could hear it in the emotion of the voices of Joe Girardi and Mariano Rivera, what it means to have played for the Yankees in this ballpark. And for me, the emotion is coming here as a youngster, sitting out in the bleachers and watching the Yankees play, and of course getting on the field here as a player, and now working here all these years as a broadcaster. So it has really spanned the course of my life from a youngster all the way up into I'm not going to say an old guy, but as an experienced person.
Well, I want you to quickly share a memory with us. You mentioned you were the first player to hit one into the batter's eye, the black.
Yeah.
You sat out there yesterday.
Yeah.
You've seen the field from a perspective that so many of us will never be able to do. What's it like?
Well, hitting that ball in 1977 off it, Eduardo Figueroa. It was a hanging slider and hit the ball out there. I didn't know it was going to go that far. I knew I hit it well, but once I saw it bouncing around in the seats out there, I had tried to think of when was it the last time it was done since they had opened the stadium, and nobody had done that until I did it then. And then yesterday going out there and just walking around, first time I've ever been out in the black seats, just walking around. It was early in the day, nobody was out there but me, and I looked out towards home plate and I said, man, I used to be a strong young man. There was a time I could hit a ball that far.
Well, the stadium is rocked on so many occasions, and Paul O'Neill is familiar with that. He joins Michael Kay now. Michael?
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Kenny. Paul, you were up in the booth a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure you were coming to grips with it. This is the last day. You're in uniform. What are you thinking right now?
It's weird because once it gets to that last day, you do realize that, you know, the end is here. And, you know, with the whole year of the build-up, it's here tonight. And, you know, I think that so many people, it's starting to, fans, players, ex-players, they're starting to realize that this place isn't going to be here next year. And sad to see it go, but a lot of memories are going with it.
Are you emotional to the point that it's going to be difficult for you, Paul?
Well, I think it's a part of, you know, it's a part of everybody that played here that, you know, you look back at what you were trying to get back to, talking about the team now, you know, back into the 90s and things like that. Well, those pictures are all going to be different now because this stadium won't exist. But, you know, I still look back at those times and definitely were the best years of my career.
Well, and it ended in 2001, and it ended in such a grand way for you, and not many people get to go out that way. Describe your feelings in that Game 5 in 2001 as you're coming off the field and they're chanting your name.
Well, actually, you go out to start the inning because you're kind of frustrated because you're losing. You're losing a World Series game, and you know the importance of winning every inning, winning every game, and then you realize what's going on with 55,000 people. And then when the game was over, it all sinks in, and then how we ended up winning the game. It was probably the coolest night I've ever had on a baseball field.
Derek Jeter told me the other day, I said, do you ever pinch yourself and wonder how this all happened? He said, I don't want to pinch myself because I don't want to wake up. Do you ever feel like that you've had such a great life and being part of the Yankee situation really made it even better?
Well, I always say that, you know, if I was never traded to the Yankees, I would have never got to experience the things I experienced here. And at the time, you're kind of uncertain of what's going to happen. But by far, the best days of my life were spent here in Yankee Stadium.
Can you imagine, Paul, if you weren't traded to the Yankees, you'd never have had all those New York restaurants, stuff like that?
I've never been in a booth with you. It's been unbelievable what our lives have been different, huh? But no, seriously, I mean, this place here has been just walking down the tunnel here. I mean, there's something about it that it's the coolest place sports are played. That's just the way it is.
Tell you what, Paul, you made it pretty cool. Thanks a lot. Have a good time tonight.
See you, Michael.
That's Paul O'Neill. Back to you, Bob.
Michael, thank you. And they're going at it again. They're not even calling a game together.
Paul has a way of putting Michael in his place from time to time and just letting him know what's really up.
Right. All right. We've got a lot more coming up when we come back here on our Yankees pregame special. This place is home to so much great baseball history, and we will share much more of it right after this.
It's the 08 sales event. A huge selection of 08s with unbelievable deals. Like a Ford Edge, now just $269 a month. Only at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
The technology selects Sector Spider. Visit us on the web at sectorspdrs.com or call 1-800
Celebration. It's great to have you back with us once again. Let's quickly go over to Michael Kay. We've heard from one great pitcher named David. How about another, Michael?
Well, thank you, Bob. As you can see, this David Wells is taking pictures as well. So David Cone pitched the perfect game. David Wells pitched the perfect game. And David, I've been asking everybody, your favorite moment as a Yankee, is it that one?
On a personal standpoint, yeah.
How about team?
98 team that's probably the first. And then, because what we did that year as a team, and nothing but a team, so help us God, it was just tremendous. Every day on the road, all the guys just gelled and bonded together, went out to eat dinner, and you just don't see that unity in the game of baseball too often. But that's why we were so successful. You know, anyone got out of line, it was diffused like that. That's what made that year special. I mean, it was just so incredible. And then, you know, and then the perfect game, obviously. But again, you need those 8 other guys behind you to make that day happen. And, you know, that's just, it was so memorable that whole year. It's just everything led up to that. I would finish with it, so it was good.
I would think of all these players that are here, David, you have a grand appreciation for this place. I know what this uniform meant to you. You actually went out on the mound one day with Babe Ruth's hat on. So what are you thinking today?
Well, I'm a little chapped right now because Lou Kakuza Sr., he's like, did you bring your Babe Ruth hat? And I'm like, and I just lost it. And I was like, what the hell? That would have been the perfect to bring the hat out for the last day. And I just wasn't thinking about it. You know, just this stuff happened so quick, you know, but to do something like that, you know, that's what this place means to me. I appreciate it. you know, I love the history about the Yankees. I love, you know, the players that were here, present and past, just to make this so much special. And, you know, I just can't believe it's gone. I really do. I really can. It's very sad.
David, it's great to see you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Michael.
That's David Wells. What did you want to say?
Always a pleasure, Michael.
It's always a pleasure, Bob. Always a pleasure, Bob. Back to you.
All right, thanks. Boy, David Wells is one of many former Yankee greats that you're going to see throughout the course of the night tonight. It is a great celebration of not only the present and the past, and some of the people who have gotten to enjoy Yankee Stadium and have become huge fans of the team. Celebrities, they're always out in force. Let's start our recollections by celebrities with Regis Philbin.
You know, Yankee Stadium means so much to me. I remember it so well my first game there. My Uncle Mike took me to a World Series game in 1943 between the Yankees and the Cardinals.
3 years ago, for Father's Day, I brought my father to a Yankee game against the Pirates. Giambi hit a walk-off home run.
You look up at it and gone! Jason Giambi!
In 1961, when my father took me on the train to see Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris.
A World Series game that I attended with my dad. We sat in the bleachers, and Paul Blair got a hit in about the 10th inning to win an extra innings World Series game.
Has to be my first game. May 30th, 1956, 8 years old, sitting right behind third base. Mantle hits it off the facade.
My favorite Yankee Stadium moment was walking on the field with Billy and him just pointing out Yankee Stadium and me going, so it is this beautiful. It was kind of amazing.
My favorite Yankee Stadium memory, 1976, Chris Chambliss hitting it out of the ballpark.
Winning in 96, the Charlie Hayes' catch.
Yankees are the 96 World Champions!
It doesn't get any more exciting playing in this ballpark when you're good and the Yankees are good and it's a close game. It's the best.
All right, so there's just some recollections. I want to get one of yours. You talked to us a little bit about your childhood and being here, sort of that explosion of color, it seems, for everybody. What was it like for you?
I think the summer of '61. That was a great year. The Yankees won the World Series. They hit 240 home runs, which was the all-time record at the time. And Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris had that great run at Babe Ruth.
All right, you know, isn't it amazing some of the memories that a lot of people have? We want to get back to Michael Kay for another one. Michael?
Well, thank you, Bob. I'm here with Scott Brosius, who was such an important, integral part of those Yankee championship teams. And Scott, even before you got here, I know your dad was a big Yankee fan. What does it mean for you to be here this evening?
This is one that I wouldn't want to miss. You know, it's kind of a pretty humbling thing when you realize everything that's gone on here, and as the weekend kind of watching all the events and they're replaying things, to realize that even to be a small piece of it's a pretty amazing thing.
Now, one of the great moments in Yankee history is obviously the David Cone perfect game, and he had the nerve to point up at the ball as if you couldn't see it. Did that annoy you?
No, what was funny was when we saw the replay, you know, because everybody's on edge. The whole perfect game, you're worried, you know, everybody's, you know, catch the ball, and so the ball's hit. And in the back of my mind, I'm really worried that, you know, like Girardi might be coming down or something, that might be a collision or whatever. So I'm like waving it off, like, I got it. So then I catch it, and I look up, and they're already hugging each other. So, you know, I think it was an awesome thing to be a part of, and to be a part of two of them, pretty amazing.
Now, Scott, I don't like to play Karnak, but I'm thinking that your best moment here had to be the Arizona home run. Am I right?
Well, either that or the sack bunt the next time afterwards. No, it was there. You know, there were some really cool moments. I mean, that was obviously a real highlight. But celebrating a World Series, you know, championship on the field, '99, that was a big highlight. My first game. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of things. I mean, there's so much that goes on here, and people are lying if they say it's not different when you put on the pinstripes. And so even my first game as a Yankee was pretty special too.
Scott, really great to see you.
Great to see you too.
That's Scott Brosius. Now let's go to Kim Jones, who's with the captain, Derek Jeter.
Thank you, Michael. Derek, it's like you grew up baseball-wise here at this stadium. Is it hard to say goodbye?
It's gonna be. You know, where we get a chance to get on the field. I mean, there's so many things that are going on. You know, everything's in fast forward right now. So I think a lot of people will be happy once the festivities start and we get a chance to watch.
Now, your parents told you to make sure you enjoy this, though. So are you enjoying even the pregame festivities?
I'm enjoying every minute with you, Kim. I've been really looking forward to this.
You did get here early today, though. You wanted to make a point to soak it in. The fans have been soaking it in for hours.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't surprise me. You know, the Yankee fans have been outstanding throughout the history of this stadium here. I'm sure it's going to continue over to the new stadium. But it's a special day. It's sort of a weird feel here today. I really don't know how to explain it.
We all know you're all about business, you're all about winning, but when you step into that batter's box, will you take a moment to look around to appreciate this tonight?
I tried to do it yesterday, my last at bat, then I got hit, so I don't know if I'll do it today, but I'm sure I will. I mean, I really don't know what to expect. I don't know what kind of emotions are going to be going through my head, but I'll try to enjoy this as much as possible.
Derek, what have these last few days been like for you, passing Lou Gehrig with the fan reaction? All of the festivities included you leading up to this. What has this been like as you prepare to leave this place?
It's been pretty special, and once again, the fans deserve all the credit. I mean, this homestand here, it's been as fun as any homestand we've had, and especially considering the position that we're in. We're in a pretty difficult position where we need a lot of help, and the fans have been outstanding.
Can I tell you something Brian Roberts of the Orioles told me? He said, I've never been to a World Series. Tonight it's like my World Series. Pretty cool.
Yeah, this is fun. I mean, once again, it all comes back to the fans, because if the fans weren't the way they were, then the atmosphere wouldn't be like this. But this is fun. I'm looking forward to getting underway.
We thank you very much, Derek. And you know what he tells me, Bob? He's got to get to the cage. He has to hit.
Of course, Kim, and nice to see one of the captain's greatest moments is being interviewed by Kim Jones tonight. All right, we'll take a quick break because Derek Jeter has provided some incredible moments for Yankees fans here, and so have many other Yankees legends. We'll get to those memories coming up.
It's the 08 sales event. A huge selection of 08s with unbelievable deals. Like 0% financing for 72 months on Ford F-150. Only at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
You can get a free rate quote online or over the phone.
So what if I want to talk to someone at 3 in the morning?
Today, we find a gecko confronted by man's curiosity.
No, that's no problem, mate. Geico's got insurance specialists available 24/7.
Fascinating.
You can buy a policy, change your coverage, report a claim.
Remarkable.
Hey, you do know I can hear you, right?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's the...
And welcome back once again to our Yankees pregame special, a farewell to the stadium. We've talked a lot tonight about so many great moments that have been captured in our minds. And let's take a moment to pause and reflect on some of the most treasured baseball moments here at the stadium. For those who are religious about baseball, attending a ball game at Yankee Stadium has been a spiritual event. For more than 80 years, baseball's faithful have come here to cheer their hearts out, accomplish their childhood dreams.
Derek Jeter stands alone atop the Yankees' all-time hit list at Yankee Stadium.
Sing with the choir.
Let's go Yankees!
And heal their very soul.
They won this game for their team captain.
They've witnessed a seemingly infinite amount of magical moments and miracles that have been offered at the Cathedral of Baseball. It started that first season at the stadium when on opening day, baseball's savior christened his house with a 3-run home run during a 4-1 victory over Boston. Babe Ruth went on to end that year with a World Series win over the New York Giants, the rival team that had prompted the original construction of Yankee Stadium after the Giants organization kicked the outselling Yankees out of the Polo Grounds. George Herman Ruth would become known for 2 things in baseball, both of which he'd will to future Yankees teams. The first was a tradition of winning, and the second was a love of the long ball. In 1927, the Babe hit his 60th home run of the season at Yankee Stadium, and no one would beat that record until 1961, when Yankee Roger Maris hit his 61st into the same right field porch. Along with the Babe, there was the Iron Horse, who continued the Yankees' slugger tradition and injected a sense of pride into the organization when he played a consecutive 2,130 games. Lou Gehrig would even continue to play ball after he'd been diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a degenerative muscle disease that would become better known as Lou Gehrig's disease. When his body began to fail him, knowing that he didn't have long to live, Lou Gehrig gave a heart-wrenching speech at Yankee Stadium as his number became the first to be retired in Major League Baseball. Standing at home plate, he amazingly proclaimed his good fortune, a moment that has become iconic in American history.
Today,
I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Wouldn't you consider it privilege to associate yourself with such a fine-looking man as is standing in uniform in this ballpark today?
Gehrig died just 2 years later at the age of 37. On the same spot, 7 years later, at 53 years old, Babe Ruth said his own goodbyes at the stadium when his number was retired. He was dying of throat cancer and had only 2 more months to live. With 2 such players as role models, Yankee Stadium would become the home of the greatest sports franchise in history, a team that would dominate several eras in baseball. Along with home runs and grand slams, Yankee Stadium has been the place to watch great moments on the mound. There have been several no-hitters.
McGinney has pitched a no-hitter! No-hitter for Jim Abbott!
Doug Gooden pitches a no-hitter!
And there have even been a few perfect games.
David Wells has pitched a perfect game! A perfect game for David Cone!
Including the only no-hitter ever pitched in the World Series. In fact, Yankee Stadium has been the place for postseason miracles.
Do you believe in miracles?
Playing host to more postseason games than any other ballpark in baseball history.
Aaron Boone has hit a home run, and the Yankees are going to the World Series!
Incredibly, the Diamond in the Bronx has hosted 37 of the 84 World Series played since the stadium opened in 1923, with the Yankees winning 26 of those series, 16 of which were clinched in the house that Ruth built. World Series events at Yankee Stadium have been truly momentous and historic. In baseball, Yankee Stadium is a holy site with an altar that has seen blood, sacrifice, and redemption. This has been the place where stars have aligned, the place where baseball fans and players alike have come to congregate and worship, because Yankee Stadium is the cathedral of baseball. So many great memories, incredible memories, Kenny. And does it ever surprise you when you looked at that piece? That was just sort of a feel for some of the great moments. There have been so many others. Have there been that many that have taken place here?
Well, Bob, when you think about it, the Yankees have won the World Series 26 times. They've been in the World Series 39 times. There have been some great players over the years from many generations for Yankee fans to watch right here at Yankee Stadium get the job done when they won all those world titles.
Well, one guy who has incredible memories from pitching here is the guy who will take them out to, actually, let's stay here and send it over to Kim Jones, I'm sorry, who has a special guest. Kim?
Thank you, Bob. Joining us is Alex Rodriguez. And Alex, take us inside the clubhouse right now. What is the emotion like?
Well, I mean, I think everyone is very excited and also a little sad. You know, I know I've seen a lot of tears in there already, believe it or not. You know, I know guys like Gene Monahan, who spent half his life in the stadium, and it's such a great part of this rich tradition. Him and the doctors and Stevie, I mean, you know, there's a lot of sad faces around.
What stands out for you personally? And I'm guessing home run number 500 is up on that list.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, my most memorable moment in the stadium is Reggie's 3 home runs against Charlie Huff in the World Series. Obviously, it's all about winning, and, you know, he won the MVP of the World Series, and he helped the team win.
But for you personally, though, Alex?
I'm not sure. You know, I don't like talking about personal things. I mean, I'm so consumed with trying to win. But, you know, the day that I hit 3 home runs was a pretty special day, just because I've never done that in my home ballpark. And, you know, to do it in New York, to do it in this stadium is something that I'll never forget.
Now, you've played in all-star games. You've played in playoff games. Have you ever seen more flashes and more cameras in your life?
I mean, look, the last 2 days, these fans have been incredible. I think they feel that something really special is happening. You know, when you get to put this uniform on and share with so many great people, you count your blessings.
We've been talking about this night for days, if not weeks. Can you believe this is finally it?
Well, it seems like we were just here yesterday for the All-Star game, and here we are in the last day of the season. We knew this year was going to be very special for a lot of reasons. You know, we just wish we could have brought a championship to the city of New York this year, but we're going to come back. Well, it's not over yet, but, you know, next year will be different.
Alex, thanks so much. Enjoy tonight.
All right, thank you.
Bob, back to you.
All right, Kim, thank you. Now, we've heard from some great Yankees past and present about their memories, and Obviously, one person who we wish were here with us tonight but couldn't be is Yankee great and our Yes colleague Bobby Murcer, who passed away in July after a courageous battle with brain cancer. Now, we feel in some way, shape, or form that he is here tonight enjoying this celebration with us, but we wanted to take one more chance to pay tribute to this Yankee great, Bobby Murcer. Bobby Murcer knew this spot, these walls, this field, this house, as well as anyone who has passed through its doors. He had a deep connection to not only the structure at 161st and River Avenue, but to the most important people who came here, the fans. The faithful that had basked in so many victories over the decades before Bobby put on the pinstripes expected him to lead them to many more. But even though his talent was large and his desire even greater, Bobby never did find October glory. But something odd happened, something that could not have been predicted. Bobby became a truly beloved Yankee, the first to do so without hoisting a World Series trophy. We all know the story. Bobby got traded, and then he came back. And once he returned, he never left. He took the trip from the field to the booth and extended his relationship with the Yankees fans to an even greater height. Bobby entered this hallowed ground in 1965, barely done being a boy. He left the stadium for the final time this past summer, 43 years later. While that may seem like a long time, it wasn't nearly long enough. Bobby Murcer loved this place because it was here he became a Yankee.
Tomorrow on a special WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. It's the final week of the season, and Joe looks back at the fanfare and festivities of the final homestand at the house that Ruth built. Plus, number 27 breaks down the team's last road trip against the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Go inside the mind of the manager on a special Joe Girardi Show tomorrow at
'85 years of incredible history, from papal visits to not only championship games for baseball, Kenny, but championship games for football and boxing as well.
Now, those still photos kind of tell the whole story about what's gone on here over the years, Bob. And just as you said, tremendous history in sports, papal visits, of course, the boxing tournaments, the boxing championships. I remember seeing the Giants here play football when I was a kid, and it's just been a special, special place for baseball fans and fans of all kinds of sports.
And Michael, as we mentioned at the top of the show, there is not only an incredible history, but an incredible energy here tonight. It's very positive. It's much more of a celebration. What do you think?
I feel the same thing. It almost feels like the beginning of a World Series before Game 1. There's a buzz. There's an excitement, there's an energy. Maybe toward the end of the night when people realize that it's time to turn out the lights and the last one out does that, I think that maybe there'll be a little bit more sadness. But right now, I think people are anticipating a great thing that the Yankees have put together, and I think they're looking forward to it. So at this point, I don't feel any sadness at all.
All right, Michael, thank you. We will see Michael in just a few minutes for the on-field ceremony, and you want to stick around for that. He and John Sterling will take you through some incredible moments, and you're going to see some really incredible faces and former Yankees joining us. But let's go over to Kim Jones for some final thoughts. Kim?
Bob and Kenny, I'm struck by some of the emotions in this clubhouse from Mariano Rivera, other players as well. I'm also struck by Andy Pettitte, who talks about how honored he will be to take this mound tonight. But mostly, it's about these fans. They are amazing. It's like they know this is it, and they are determined to send it out right. Their energy since 1 o'clock this afternoon has been unparalleled.
All right, Kim, thank you. You know, Kenny, I'm of the mind that, you know, really this stadium is two stadiums. The one from 23 to 73 and the renovated stadium. They both have their great moments, but here's what I look forward to. Carrying this excitement that we have tonight into the new ballpark. Because if we are to believe, and everything is drawn up this way, that stadium is more the original stadium, which it is. I think the ghosts that are here, if you believe that, are going to go running across the street. We might even hear their cleats crossing the concrete to get to that new ballpark.
Well, you talked about the Yankee Stadium being two stadiums, but it's in a one-of-a-kind stadium with the two stadiums. The fact that a lot of winning has gone on here over the years. With the Yankees in the original stadium of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, and Yogi Berra. And then after the renovation, you had the likes of Chris Chambliss' home run happening. Then moving on to the Yankees into the 90s, early 2000s. A lot of winning's gone on here, a lot of the championships. It's really been one of a kind of a stadium, and it's been the best venue for baseball in history.
All right, well, we've given our opinions, but it's time to hear yours. As you know, Yankees fans are some of the most knowledgeable and most passionate fans, and have been for 85 years. Let's go to Nancy Newman with some of the fan reaction.
Thanks, guys. A check of this shirt, and you know where this man's loyalty lies. He is Frank from the Bronx. And Frank, welcome to the final day at the current Yankee Stadium. How does that sound? How do you feel about it?
Oh, I'm definitely sad. I mean, I love it. It's going to be a good day, but I'm sad that this place is, you know, closing down. I was here for Giant games. I was here for World Series.
My favorite all-time memory would have to be 1996 when the Yankees won the World Series. That was the most incredible time I've ever had out here inside, and then it spilled out into the streets, and it was a party and a celebration. It was unbelievable. I lost my voice for about a week. The crowd was great. There was no trouble like you see in some cities. You know, everybody was you know, behaving themselves. It was just one big, no fights, no nothing got damaged. Everybody had a blast. I'll never forget that.
Well, Yankee Stadium is the house of special moments. We've got another one today. Your names, and tell us what happened today.
I'm Brian Buckner. It's my girlfriend Tigist, and she said yes. I proposed that on Monument Park in front of Lou Gehrig, and I told her that I would be the luckiest man on the face of the earth if she said yes, and she did, and it was kind of a nervous moment, but I just feel so lucky, and I love this little lady, and I love this place, and it's just incredible.
Just every game, coming with friends and family, and you know, the before game, the after the game, and just watching great Yankees comebacks when everyone else doesn't think it's possible.
The memories here will last a lifetime.
I'm just so lucky to be here right now, and I can't express it. I'm going to tell my kids about this one day.
One thing you can say about Yankees fans, they're certainly in touch with their team, and in some ways, literally, and the players. You see the handprints out on the wall. A lot of people, as they walked through here, the public allowed between 1 and 4 today. They walked along the warning track, Kenny. They were allowed to touch the wall, go out and visit Monument Park, and just experience that. And for a lot of them, it happened for the first time.
Yeah, I think players will tell you over the years that fans energize the players on the field. No player wants to come out here and embarrass himself in front of 5,000, much less 50,000 fans. And I think that the energy is felt by the players, and it's transferred back and forth between the players and the fans like no other place.
You know, it's interesting listening to Yankees fans over the course of the past week, whether they've been interviewed or you read what they've said on blogs and message boards about the history of this stadium. And you know, some of the fans who, for example, had Derek Jeter fall into their lap when he dove for that ball into the stands. Others who were just inches away from Charlie Hayes when he gloved that ball and they won the World Series. That those mean so much to those fans, those moments.
Well, I think so. Anytime a team wins a championship or you're a championship caliber type ball club, and it's not only those particular moments, it's what's led up to those moments as well. What the team accomplished during the course of that season. And fans take away those seasons and put them away in their minds. And they always say things like, I remember the 96 season. Oh, I remember the 98 season. Wasn't that great? Or about the 2000 season, a Subway Series against the Mets. Oh, we couldn't lose to the Mets, could we? And the Yankees, of course, won that world title as well.
Now, you're always around on Old Timers Day, and I know that we're going to see some young timers and some old timers tonight, certainly, as the celebration continues. And you're going to want to stick around for that because the celebration that they have prior to the game will be terrific. But talk to me about the feeling that day, because Yankees fans are always in touch with these Yankees legends. Even the young kids, they know who a Yogi Berra is, for example.
Because it's passed along from generations. New York fans have a lot to celebrate, and when you talk about Yogi Berra, they have their grandfathers and grandmothers tell them, or their aunts and uncles tell them exactly what Yogi Berra was about.
All right, now, are you ever surprised? Actually, we're just standing by. We're going to wrap this up as we thank you for joining us for our Yankees pregame special. We'll turn it over now to the public address announcer as we get set for the on-field ceremony. Enjoy it.
I'm sorry I could not make it there tonight in person to celebrate the history of a place I have called home since 1951. I know the Yankees have a wonderful ceremony planned for tonight to celebrate Yankee Stadium that I'm sure that everyone will enjoy. I've missed being at the stadium this season, but I hope to see everyone next year in the new Yankee Stadium. But now it's time to sit back as the Yankees pay homage to the house that Ruth built. So, fans, I'll see you next season. But now, please direct your attention to the area by the Yankees on-deck circle and welcome our MCs for tonight's ceremony, WCBS Yankees broadcaster John Sterling, and Yes Network broadcaster Michael Kay.
Well, thank you, Bob. You know, you've really been missed at the stadium this season, and I think I speak for everyone when I say we hope to see you across the street next year. But tonight is about the glorious history of this majestic stadium as we welcome you to the final game in the history of the most iconic venue in all of sports, Yankee Stadium. Think of all the memories and great moments that have happened in this very building. Think of all the Hall of Famers and pinstripe legends that have graced this field. No place can match all the history that has happened within these historic walls. We'll be honoring the history of this hallowed stadium as we bring back to life some of the players from years gone by and welcome back some of the legends that graced this glorious field.
Well, it's amazing to think how much history this one stadium has seen over the past 85 years. It has seen no-hitters, perfect games, dramatic home runs, and countless World Championship celebrations. No other sports venue in the world has the rich history or seen the number of magic moments that this grand cathedral of baseball has. Tonight, we will look back at those magic moments and pay homage to some of the Yankee greats that helped make Yankee Stadium the iconic place that it is. Now, please direct your attention to the Diamond Vision screen in right center field as we turn the calendar back to the first opening day at Yankee Stadium on April 18th, 1923. The history of this grand cathedral of sports dates back to April 18th, 1923. On Yankee Stadium's first opening day, the Yankees raised their first pennant up to the facade. As we honor the rich history of this famed ballpark, the Yankees are proud to display this banner here tonight. Please direct your attention to the black seats in center field as we present the original 1922 American League Championship pennant that was the first pennant to fly in this stadium. Now, let's look back and remember the 1923 New York Yankees starting lineup, the first team to ever take the field at Yankee Stadium.
The manager, Miller Huggins. The starting pitcher, Bob Shawkey. The catcher, Wally Shang. The first baseman, Wally Pipp. The second baseman, Aaron Ward. The third baseman, Joe Dugan. The shortstop, Everett Scott. The left fielder, Bob Musial. The center fielder, Whitey Witt. And the right fielder, on opening day 1923, he hit the first home run in this ballpark, Babe Ruth. Since 1923, the Yankees have had many illustrious players grace this field with their skills. Now let's recognize a few other Yankee greats who are honored out in Monument Park. He played first base for 2,130 straight games, and until last week, held the record for most career hits at Yankee Stadium. The Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. A Yankee from 1930 to 1942. His pitching helped lead them to 6 world championships. Lefty Gomez. The Yankees' all-time leader with 261 complete games and the winningest right-hand pitcher in team history, Red Ruffing. The first of the great Yankees catchers, an 11-time All-Star who helped lead the Yankees to 7 world championships, Bill Dickey.
One of the great Yankees managers, he helped guide them to 7 world championships as their respected leader, Joe McCarthy. A star pitcher on 5 straight championship teams, he hurled 2 no-hitters in 1951. The Super Chief, Allie Reynolds. He guided the Yankees to 5 straight world titles and 7 total championships in his 12 years in the Yankees dugout. The old professor, Casey Stengel. He holds the Major League record for most consecutive games with a hit. He was a 3-time MVP and a 13-time All-Star. Was a member of 9 World Championship teams. The Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio.
The Yankees have had powerhouse teams dating all the way back to 1923 with great depth at each position. We just recognized some former Yankee greats, but the Yankees have over 700 living alumni. Tonight, as we celebrate some of the stars at each position, we mention that not everyone could be here tonight. The Yankees' pedigree has helped many legends spread all over the game. After they were done playing here, some are still active in baseball and were unable to attend tonight's ceremony. As we go around the field, please check out the Diamond Vision screen as we honor all of those former greats that have called Yankee Stadium home. We start with the left fielders tonight, and this one spent his entire 15-year career playing left field in Yankee Stadium. During this period, he was one of the American League's best switch hitters. He was a two-time world champion, made the All-Star team twice. Soft-spoken, a dignified leader, Roy White. This Yankee played here for 8 seasons, the first few as a left fielder before moving over to right field, and was quite possibly the greatest athlete ever to play for the Yankees. He made the All-Star team every year he wore pinstripes. He also hit over 200 home runs and won 5 Gold Gloves. Here tonight, in his original position as a Yankee, Dave Winfield.
True for me, a little 5'5" Italian who dreamt about playing for the great New York Yankees, and to have it happen, that was unbelievable.
Two outs and 2 on. The Red Sox lead at 2-0 in the 7th inning here at Fenway. Deep to left. Yastrzemski will not get its home run. A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and drilled to right field. Going back Sanders on the track at the wall. See ya! See ya! See ya! A game-winning walk-off home run by Derek Jeter. He is Mr. November. This shortstop was a 7-time world champion, 5-time All-Star, the 1950 American League Most Valuable Player, the 1951 World Series Most Valuable Player, and in 1994, he was elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame. After retiring from the field, he continued to be a fixture here at Yankee Stadium for the next 40 years as a Yankees broadcaster. Escorted by Yankees reliever Mariano Rivera and representing her husband Phil Rizzuto, Mrs. Cora Rizzuto. Rudolph manned the infield here at Yankee Stadium in the late 60s and early 70s. After his playing career was over, he would continue with the Yankees as a scout, coach, manager, and general manager. As an executive, he's been instrumental in building these great Yankee teams since the 1990s. Currently, he is a Yankee senior vice president and special advisor. The Stick, Gene Michael.
Swung on and hit in the air, to deep left, that ball's high, it is far, it is good. I don't believe it. Once again, deja vu, a two-out, game-tying two-run home run by Scott Brosius.
Alex Rodriguez has made Major League Baseball history, the youngest player ever to hit 500 home runs. This player played the hot corner for 11 seasons here and was a key member of the 1977 and 1978 World Championship teams. During his career at the stadium, he would make 5 All-Star teams, win the 1981 ALCS MVP, lead the league in home runs once, win 2 Gold Gloves awards for his stellar defense. He's part of the lineage of great Yankees third baseman, Graig Nettles. Now, this third baseman is one of the best hitters in the history of baseball. He played for the Yankees for 5 seasons, hit .313, won 2 Gold Gloves while in pinstripes. A key member of the 1996 World Championship team, Wade Boggs. Now we have the Yankees third baseman from 1998 through 2001. He was an integral part of the Yankee team that won 3 straight World Championships. In 1998, he was voted to his first All-Star game, won a Gold Glove Award, and was named the 1998 World Series MVP. In his career, he hit .314 in the World Series, including one of the most memorable home runs this majestic ballpark has ever seen when he made the Grand Ole Stadium shake with his game-tying home run with 2 out in the bottom of the 9th inning of Game 5 of the 2001 World Series. Scott Brosius.
And I tore it. I said, I'm going to hit the next pitch ball right past the flagpole. Well, the good Lord must have been with me.
throw Hank Bauer, whose vicious line drive was good for 2 bases.
Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there. Oh,
Jackson with 4 runs batted in. It's a fly ball to center field and deep. That's going to be way back, and that's going to be gone. Reggie Jackson is hitting 3rd home run of the game.
The whole crowd is now chanting Paul O'Neill. Wow. What a feeling that must be.
El Como Dulce. Bobby Abreu is sweet as candy.
We start with one of the best fielding right fielders in Yankees history. While playing in Yankee Stadium, he was a 6-time All-Star, 2-time American League MVP, and a Gold Glove Award winner. In 1961, he chased down Babe Ruth, and October 1st of that year, he set a new Major League Baseball record when he hit his 61st home run. Representing his father, Roger Maris, please welcome Randy Maris. Our next legendary right fielder played here at Yankee Stadium for 5 very memorable seasons. During that time, he helped lead the team to 4 divisional titles, 3 American League pennants, and 2 World Championships. On the night of October 18th, 1977, he gave us one of the most unforgettable nights in Yankee Stadium history, when in Game 6 of the 1977 World Series, he smashed 3 home runs in consecutive at-bats en route to being named World Series MVP. Mr. October, Reginald Martinez Jackson. This right fielder would spend 9 seasons patrolling the outfield here at the stadium from 1993 to 2001. During those 9 seasons, he would appear in 4 All-Star games, hit over 306 times, and he led the American League in hitting in 1994. One of the fiercest competitors Yankee fans have ever seen. He was a key member of 4 World Championship teams. The Warrior, Paul O'Neill.
This second baseman played for the Yankees in the 1950s. He helped lead them to 5 World Championships, hitting .333 in those World Series. Later, he would become the Yankees manager and lead them to 2 more World Series victories. In all, he was a part of 7 Yankees World Championship teams. Representing his father, Billy Martin, welcome Billy Martin Jr. Our next legend was one of the greatest fielding second basemen in the game, who won the Gold Glove Award 5 years in a row from 1961 to 1965. He played his whole career with the Yankees. He was a reliable player who was in the starting lineup day in and day out. A 3-time world champion, 7-time All-Star. He was the 1960 World Series MVP, had a career average of .305 in the World Series. Please welcome Bobby Richardson. This second baseman spent 13 seasons at Yankee Stadium. He appeared in 5 All-Star games, including the 1977 game that was played here. In 1977, his sacrifice fly in the 9th inning of the deciding Game 5 plated the winning run and sent the Yankees back to the World Series. He also scored the winning run in the 12th inning of Game 1 of the World Series that year. In total, he would win 6 World Championships with the Yankees, 2 as a player, 4 as a coach. A true Yankee, Willie Randolph.
consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
And the Moose slams one over the left field fence to put the Yankees way out ahead, 6-2.
And he drives one feet to right. It might be out of here. It could be. It is.
Chris Chambliss has won the American League pennant for the New York Yankees. This one by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof. Goodbye, home run. Don Mattingly.
A grand slam into the upper deck for Tino Martinez. Into the air to deep right center. It's a grand slam. Jason Giambi, the Giambino.
Now we head over to one of the positions that has been home to so many Yankee legends. This legend played first base here from 1954 to 1962. He hit more than 20 home runs 4 times with the Bronx Bombers. In 1961, he was part of the trio that had a total of 143 home runs. He was also a 6-time All-Star. He had 7 World Series home runs for the Yankees. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Moose Skowron. This gentleman played first base at the stadium from 1974 to 1979. And he was at the heart of the 1977 and 1978 World Championship team lineups. During the 1976 season, he was selected to play in the All-Star game, and then on October 14th of that same year, he set off one of the wildest scenes in this stadium that has been seen a lot of wondrous moments. The Yankees had not been to the World Series since 1964, but with one swing of the bat, he changed all that. Circling the bases as the fans stormed the field, he put the Yankees back in the World Series. Chris Chambliss. This Yankees legend was at first base for 7 seasons in Yankee Stadium. He would help lead them to 4 world titles as one of their leaders on the field and in the clubhouse. Not only did he play flawless defense every night, he produced 2 of the biggest home runs in Yankee Stadium history. First in 1998, his grand slam in the 7th inning of Game 1 gave the Yankees a lead they would never relinquish as they swept to the first of 3 straight championships. Then nobody will ever forget the way he made the stadium shake with his dramatic home run with 2 outs in the 9th inning of Game 4 of the 2001 World Series. Ladies and gentlemen, Constantino Martinez.
Everyone as Yogi.
As we move to catchers, we start with one of the greatest catchers ever to play the position. He was a Yankee player from 1946 to 1963. He was selected to the American League All-Star team 15 straight years. With 14 appearances in the Fall Classic, he played in more World Series games than anyone in history. He's in the top 10 in most Yankee batting categories. And the 10 World Championship teams he won with the Yankees is more than any player in history. He was the catcher for the only perfect game in World Series history. You know him, Lawrence Peter Yogi Berra. next great Yankee catcher was the first African-American player in Yankee history. He made the team in 1955. He'd go on to win 2 Gold Glove awards, the 1963 American League MVP award, and be an important member of 4 World Championship teams. Representing Elston Howard, his daughter, Cheryl Howard. Next, he was an 8-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, 2-time world champion, as well as the 1976 American League MVP. In April of 1976, he was named the 6th captain in Yankees franchise history. Tragically, he passed away in the prime of his career on August 2nd, 1979. And from that date to this, the final game at Yankee Stadium, his locker remains empty. Representing his dad, Thurman Munson, please welcome his son, Michael Munson. Next, we have the catcher from 3 World Championship teams in the 90s. During his career in pinstripe, he caught both a no-hitter and a perfect game here at Yankee Stadium. When the 1996 World Series returned here for Game 6, his 3rd inning triple gave the Yankees a lead they would never relinquish as they won their first World Series title in 18 years and set off a grand celebration here in the stadium. Tonight, he'll be the Yankees manager for the final game. The manager of the New York Yankees, Joe Girardi.
Even though Yankee Stadium is known as the house that Ruth built, some of the greatest pitchers in the history of the game have pitched on this mound. And we start with not only one of the greatest pitchers of all time, but he is probably the greatest Yankees pitcher ever. Here's a crafty lefty who pitched for the Yankees for 16 seasons. In 1961, he won both the Cy Young Award and World Series MVP. He had a lifetime record of 236 and 106, which gives him the highest winning percentage of any pitcher in the 20th century. He holds the World Series record for wins, consecutive scoreless innings, and strikeouts, as he helped the Yankees win 6 world titles. The chairman of the board, Edward Charles Whitey Ford.
In a place like this that has seen so much history, it's hard to narrow down what might have been the most historical event to ever take place here. Well, what this pitcher did has to be considered the single greatest game ever pitched in this grand cathedral. It's possibly the single greatest achievement ever to take place at Yankee Stadium. On October 8th, 1956, he became the only pitcher in the history of the game of baseball to ever throw a perfect game in the World Series, Don Larsen.
This next pitcher was with the Yankees from 1975 to 1979, and in 1975 would lead the American League in wins and throw an outstanding 30 complete games. A 2-time All-Star on pinstripes, he helped lead them to 3 World Series and 2 World Championships. Representing her husband, Catfish Hunter, please welcome Mrs. Helen Hunter.
This relief pitcher was one of the most intimidating and overpowering pitchers that ever stepped on the mound at Yankee Stadium. He had an explosive fastball that ranged between 90 and 100 miles an hour. He's third on the Yankees all-time saves list with 151. He made the American League All-Star team 4 times while wearing pinstripes. This summer, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Rich Goose Gossage.
This left-hander spent his entire 14-year career pitching at Yankee Stadium. In 1978, he had the most dominant season ever by a Yankee when he went 25-3 with a 1.74 ERA. He set the franchise record for most strikeouts in a season and most shutouts in a season. And on June 17th, 1978, he gave this stadium its most electric pitching performance when he set the franchise record with 18 strikeouts in 1 game. He is in the top 10 of almost every Yankees pitching category. Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry.
This next pitcher was the ace of the staff of the 1998 World Championship team. He went 18-4 that year, leading the league in winning percentage and shutouts. And on May 17th, 1998, He gave Yankee Stadium another moment that only this cathedral of baseball deserves. It was Beanie Buddy Day at Yankee Stadium, and he treated the fans in attendance to a piece of history when he threw the second perfect game in Yankees history. He would spend 4 seasons with the Bombers and have many more huge victories. The Boomer, David Wells.
Most teams are lucky to have one perfect game thrown in their history. But the Yankees have had 3 pitchers throw a perfect game, all at Yankee Stadium. On July 18th, 1999, a day that Don Larson and Yogi Berra were in attendance, he threw the 3rd perfect game in Yankees history and Yankee Stadium history. In all, he spent 6 years in pinstripes and had a 6-1 record in the postseason. He was a key member of the Yankees' last 4 World Championship teams. Let's welcome David Cone.
If any positions have the legacy and prestige that playing center field at Yankee Stadium has, now it's time to welcome back a few of those greats and their families. We start with a player who spent 18 years manning center field for the Yanks in the 50s and 60s. Not only was he one of the greatest players ever to don pinstripes and step on this
expected. Caller ID, friend detected. Kelly calling, conference Karen. So much stuff to share with Sharon.
More HD, awesome edition. Death-defying definition. Ninjas, cowboys, gangsters, coppers. Huge explosions, helicopters.
Film's fantastic, show's outstanding. Mother load of on-demanding. Hometown showdown, perfect timing. Courtside kicking, back unwinding.
Happy, high-tech, automatic. Exponentially ecstatic. Speeding forward, future hopping. Always dreaming, never stopping. C-O-M-C-A-S-T. C-O-M-C-A-S-T.
McMahon Tire & Car Care's going green for St. Paddy's Day. Oil filter and lube, a measly $15.95. Align, balance, and rotate your tires, only $59, plus 10% off all our service. Start saving some green at McMahon Tire & Car Care.
Shop Kittles now and save with new lower prices throughout the store. Living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. Plus no payments or interest till 2011. Kittles' quality, selection, and service is now an even better value with new lower prices at Kittles.
It's double warranty days at Stuckey's, free on all major brand name appliances, washers, dryers, ranges, refrigerators, dishwashers, and more. Double warranty now from the store you trust more. Stuckey's, south of I-69 Coldwater Road.
Coverage you can count on continues with Heather Herron and Mark Mellinger.
The future King of England has opened his heart to Britain, revealing just how empty he still feels over the loss of his mother, Princess Diana.
Prince William says the worst part is knowing he'll never be able to say the word mummy again. CBS's Charlie D'Agata has the story from London.
Prince William shared his grief over losing his mother with children who've also lost loved ones.
Never being able to say the word mummy again in your life sounds like a small thing. However, for many, including me, it is now really just a word, hollow and evoking only memories.
It's the first time the prince has talked publicly about his sadness over the death of Princess Diana. Prince William says it's especially tough at this time of year. Mother's Day is celebrated here in Britain next weekend, a holiday the prince hasn't celebrated since he was a teenager.
I too have felt and still feel the emptiness on such a day as Mother's Day.
Prince William was 15 and his brother Harry was 12 when Princess Diana died in a Paris car crash. William spoke in his new role as royal patron for the child bereavement charity that Diana herself helped launch 15 years ago.
My brother and I were lucky enough to grow up supported by the love and nurturing of our family. They saw to our education, our health, our well-being, and every other need. So many young people have none of this.
The future king hopes sharing his sadness will help others find strength this Mother's Day and every day to come. Charlie D'Agata, CBS News, London.
Today, Fort Wayne's mayor joined several local groups to recognize March as Disabilities Awareness Month. Their goal, to promote the independence, integration, and inclusion of people with disabilities in everyday life. Indiana's Governor's Council for People with Disabilities is celebrating its 19th year now. This year's theme is Disable the Label. You can find displays and more info at Allen County Library branches and also at the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
It is time once again to check in with Sandy to find out what is coming up next.
Well, we were a little bit cooler than normal today at 38 degrees. Normally we would see the mid-40s, but we're on our way to some unseasonably warm weather. That's next.
Have a nice day.
Oh, I will.
A little anticipation can make any day better. And that's why the Hoosier Lottery is introducing Quick Draw.
Ooh, saddlebags. Getting my money's worth, right?
It's the new game that can lift your spirits all day long.
There's that file.
It's fun, easy, and gives you a shot at up to $300,000 every 24 hours. So now every day is a Quick Draw day.
Spots are just downright annoying. The problem is hard water spots. But a Culligan water softener can help get rid of them throughout your home. So for better water, call your Culligan man today.
Hi, I'm Greg DeVille with Better Living Patio Rooms. Come down and see us at the grand opening sale of our new showroom at 702 West Coliseum Boulevard. At Better Living, we always build the finest patio rooms and room additions, but we also do vinyl siding, entry doors, and of course, vinyl replacement windows. We have patio rooms for everybody's needs. Gable patio rooms, studio patio rooms, even screen rooms. So come see us at our new location at 702 West Coliseum Boulevard or give us a call today.
There's tons of reasons to shop Uncle Bill's Pet Centers. Here's the top 5.
Reason number 5, hundreds of items on sale every month.
Number 4, the best selection of fresh and saltwater fish with the best guarantee in town.
Number 3, get reward points on every purchase. And our frequent buyer program can earn you free dog and cat food.
Number 2, a friendly and knowledgeable staff to help you.
And the number 1 reason to shop Uncle Bill's, it's fun for the whole family.
Uncle Bill's Pet Superstores.
Toyota is the most dependable and fuel-efficient car company on the road today. That's why Toyota Quality saves money. Find out more at QualitySavesMoney.com.
Pay no interest for 3 full years. That's 2012. Now at Carpet One.
Coverage you can count on continues with Sandy Thompson's live Doppler 15 forecast.
Well, this evening we're cooling off fairly quickly now, although we did start out in the teens for some of you this morning in the low 20s. But tonight now ranging from 25 to 40, we can expect temperatures to drop a little more, but it's not going to be as cold as what we woke up to this morning. As we check Southeast Elementary in Decatur this evening, they are sitting at 39 degrees. All right, let's talk about what we're going to be seeing this weekend as we try to recover from the flooding around the area. At least we have some good news. It's going to be a sunny Saturday for us, and yes, even warmer than what we saw today. No rain expected on Saturday. Looks like a warm Sunday, and right now it still looks like Sunday's going to be dry, so that's good news. The system that looked like it might bring us some rain appears now it might stay south of us. So let me show you what's happening. Along the Gulf states, very heavy rain trailing off to some snow up here on the western end of that system, but as it makes its way across the Ohio Valley and onto the east, it looks like we're going to get a good soaking up here in Kentucky and in Tennessee. But I think right now it looks like we're going to maintain some dry conditions as we move on into Indiana, and we'll leave the rain south of us. This evening, just a few little light clouds lingering over us tonight, but a very quiet Friday night for us. It is going to be sunny tomorrow, and it's going to continue to be very mild around the region tomorrow, and even warmer weather than on Sunday. Now, let's talk about those temperatures. Early tomorrow morning, around 22 degrees, but hey, I think we'll make it into the 50s tomorrow. And with 50s all around us, I think we can be assured Sunday's going to be an unseasonably warm day in the 50s still, maybe hitting 60 even by Monday. Meanwhile, our futurecast does not appear that we'll have any rain in our area tonight. Again, it is going to be staying south of us throughout the day tomorrow, pushing up into maybe Evansville area, even on into the east to Cincinnati, Bloomington, maybe a few drops of rain, but I think right now we can be looking at a dry weekend. So let's look at that forecast here. Not as cold tonight at 22. Tomorrow our high right around 51, sunny and warm. Here's that 7-day planner. Middle 50s by Sunday, upper 50s, then the 60s. We've got some great stuff coming in, and I'm so thankful at this point we're taking out weekend rain possibilities. Yes. But again, you know weather, it can change, but right now it's looking pretty darn good for us.
Great. Thanks, Sandy.
Coming up, stories for your well-being.
Not sleeping enough can make you tired, cranky, and now new research shows it can increase your chances of getting a serious disease. Find out what that is next.
This month on News Channel 15, the big stories,
I talked to the sheriff, find out what they want and what it means for you.
the big games, the special reports,
More people are losing their job in this time of recession.
the stories everyone will be talking about.
Exploring gaming in Fort Wayne,
Dealing with major job loss.
a special report on our economy.
This month on News Channel 15, coverage you can count on.
Start your day with News Channel 15 for the most accurate and up-to-date information from overnight. When you want coverage you can count on, News Channel 15 delivers.
It's double warranty days at Stuckey's, free on all major brand name appliances, washers, dryers, ranges, refrigerators, dishwashers, and more. Double warranty now from the store you trust more. Stuckey's, south of I-69, Coldwater Road.
This weekend, canceled North Carolina furniture orders to be liquidated at American Freight. Brand new sofas from only $198. These sofas only $298. These sofas only $398. Free layaway till tax refund. 3-piece packages that include a sofa, love seat, and recliner. Get all 3 pieces, only $398. Bring your pickup truck van. Same-day delivery. This weekend only at American Freight. Highway 33 and Merchant Road, 497-4977.
A brand new car for under 10 grand? Who's got that?
We got it at Glenbrook Hyundai and WeGotIt.com.
Brand new 09 Accents now just $99.50. And get a $1,000 coupon all at WeGotIt.com. And get the Hyundai Assurance Plus program, where if you lose your income, we'll make your payments.
Save big this week. Only at Glenbrook Hyundai on Coldwater Road next to Red Lobster. And online at WeGotIt.com.
It's a great time to come take a look at beautiful Heritage Point in nearby Warren, Indiana. We have the right living arrangements for you, and all are more affordable than you might think. Most of all, you get a great community with exciting activities, swimming and fitness, arts and crafts, morning coffee gatherings. There's even a dance floor. And of course, medical help is always nearby. So call to schedule your visit today. Heritage Point, it's all about living.
It's double warranty days at Stuckey's, free on all major brand name appliances, washers, dryers, ranges, refrigerators, dishwashers, and more. Double warranty now from the store you trust more. Stuckey's, south of I-69 Coldwater Road.
Coverage you can count on continues on News Channel 15's First at 5.
Topping today's stories for your well-being, when it comes to smoking, people are not kicking the habit as fast as officials had hoped. They say differences in tobacco marketing and tobacco control programs are among the reasons why adult smoking rates are almost twice as high in some states than others. Kentucky has the highest rate with about 28% of adults who still smoke. West Virginia and Oklahoma are close behind. Utah has the lowest adult smoking rate. Experts are not optimistic about meeting the federal government's goal of reducing adult smoking to 12% or less in all states by next year.
If you're a man and you want to keep your bones strong, you might want to start running. New research has found running seemed to have bigger benefits for bone mass than strength training did. These findings suggest athletes involved in low-impact sports like swimming and cycling should add high-impact activities to their workouts. Too little sleep might raise your risk of diabetes. According to a new study, people who don't get enough shut-eye are prone to abnormal blood sugar levels. People in the study who got less than 6 hours of sleep were in trouble. In fact, they were 4.5 times more likely to develop abnormal blood sugar readings than people who slept longer. Another check of your weekend forecast is up next.
Plus,
break a leg, Grandma!
Grandma! Break both, Grandma!
Oh, an 87-year-old woman decides to take a leap of faith. That story after the break.
It's Ashley Furniture Home Store's 65th anniversary event. Get 3 rooms of furniture starting at only $65 a month. Plus, pay no interest till 2012. That's totally free financing. The 65th anniversary event is on now at your Ashley Furniture Home Store.
Love Pizza Mia? Pizza Hut has a new deal you'll love every day. Now you can get 2 freshly baked one-topping Pizza Mias for just $5 each. That's 2 Pizza Mias, just $5 each. Only at Pizza Hut. Now you're eating.
Toscani pastas from Pizza Hut. Choose from 4 delicious recipes like our new lasagna or creamy chicken Alfredo starting at just $12.99. That's right, over 3 pounds of any recipe starting at $12.99. Toscani pastas delivered only by Pizza Hut. Now you're eating.
One by one, people are hearing about the big news from Comcast. Introducing Everyday Low Pricing. Discover incredible savings on TV, internet, and home phone service at an everyday low price. Call now and get an everyday low price on digital economy, economy internet, and local with more home phone service from Comcast. Pick any 2 or get all 3 for less than $30 each per month. The choice is yours. And this is not an introductory rate. Call 1-877-COMCAST today.
At Dodge, we're working to earn your trust in your business by delivering the best quality and reliability in our history. Announcing Employee Pricing Plus Plus on nearly all our vehicles. Well-qualified current Chrysler lessees get the employee price plus a $4,250 combined cash allowance with